What's up, everyone? Today we are joined by Esteban Salinas. I believe that's how you say his name. I'm going to have to ask him that. Could be Salinas because, Kansas is – I used to live in Kansas. There's a town called Salina. Anyways. Let's go ahead and bring up Esteban.
How's it going, guys? Yeah,
what's going on, buddy?
And what's going on, man? And you did say it right, by the way, so don't worry about that.
The first time, not the second time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly,
I guess.
Growing up in the States, and I went to a different school every single year up until high school, I got used to my name being said every which way, so I really stopped caring, like in third grade. So
yeah.
Either way.
How many people called you Salina?
A good amount. A good amount of people started calling me that. Selena, Este. Like you can go down the list of different names of either people that could have pronounced it or didn't care. It was like, yeah, that kid over there. Him. Like the quiet one who draws in class the whole time. Him. Like that was me. But yeah, most people didn't. I got called every name in the book, and not even like derogatory. Just like, I don't know his name. Just call him whatever. So I'm used to it. But yeah, how's it going, man? How's your day?
It's going. We got a troll, man. Somebody asked me from Twitch, actually, why did I steal my logo from the game Overwatch?
Why
I didn't.
That's right. Yeah, I forgot about that troll Overwatch, man. I never got into that game, but I recognize the logo. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It has a play off of it a little bit, but this is actually, if you look at it, that's a C. That's a C.
Conline.
Yeah, or Creator's Corner, which is what it was originally, designated for.
Yeah.
And then you have your map locator here.
They can't see them.
Oh yeah, can't see that. This one, my bad.
Yeah,
this one.
yeah.
Okay, C, and then the map locator. So that's
no copyright infringement. Don't. It's like.
No, actually, that's actually copyrighted and everything, trademark, that whole nine.
You're gonna call me a troll?
Oh my god! So this is fun.
Anime eyebrows? Is that good?
Yeah, anime eyebrows.
I've been told I have thick eyebrows. I'm not sad about it.
They're nice looking eyebrows.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I've been gifted with like hair of, I don't know. My grandfather like died with a full head of hair, and my dad same thing. So I'm good.
See, I think maybe what it is this whoever this is isn't they can't grow a nice wonderful beard like myself or you, so they've got to pick on people.
It's true. Yeah, it's security. And then I got that red beard thing going on. That everyone's like, why is it so different? Like, I don't know, some gene mutation, man. Or it was the milkman. What's up?
It's this side. But I have red right here.
Oh yeah, you got it too?
Not a lick of red in my entire family. And I didn't have it until I turned 30.
Strange.
All of a sudden I start getting red patches.
That's weird, man. I've had red and beard my whole life, and it was like either that or some milkman shenanigans going on in my grandma's life. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'm the only one that has like a full red of hair. My hair is black and brown. I have my beard completely red. I don't know. I would go with it. Some sort of gene mutation.
Say hi to Quentin. Hi to Gal. Hi to.
Dude, looks like
that's it.
A maple on his pancakes. I mean, I do put a lot of syrup on my pancakes, so I'm not. You're not wrong.
There's no other way.
No, you can't. You got to drown them. There's absolutely no other way to eat them.
You have to eat them before they get past that threshold of being a pancake with syrup to just being like a porridge.
I know exactly where you can like liquid and pour it into like a pitcher, and it's just like that's your pancake. Yeah, you have to get it in that right and in this right sweet spot for sure. But I hope everyone has a good day.
I guess we should get down to business here. Get to why we're actually here. The focus today is we like to talk about creators' journeys into comics.
Mm-hmm.
What is the first thing that you recall drawing as a child or adolescent, whenever it was that you remember?
Spider-Man. I would say.
First thing you actually remember drawing.
Spider-Man, I would say. Yeah, Spider-Man. Even as a kid, there's something about him, man, that like. Even today, like it just is like looking at him isn't in like I guess like I said, I've said it before and I've been on record. I didn't grow up reading comics. It was It was mainly that's how ADHD I was and still am. Like I didn't have the attention span to read comics with pictures within them. Like I was just like, no, I'll play video games. Like I couldn't do it. But Spider-Man, man, there was always something so special about him. Like the dynamic poses, the webs coming out, like the perspective. Something always caught my eye with him, and I loved drawing him as a kid. Like he was just my favorite. There were horrible drawings for sure, but like the quads, like him being crouched over when he's got that special pose, like almost perched over the city and stuff like that. That was what I was so drawn to. And then I kind of branched off from there, and I went to Batman. I went to I loved comic book lore, and I loved the heroes, and I loved everything about it. But I would say the very first was probably Superman for sure, or not Superman, Spider-Man for sure. There's something about that like muscle, and then like the extra challenge of the suit lines and everything always made it super hard for me. But I always took on challenges like that. It was always so fun. That's really a dream of mine to do Spider-Man like professionally, to do to touch him in a professional sense.
Do you still have any of your original drawings? Some of the stuff you did, that you look out and I guess like the Alex Ross, but he does this stuff sometimes where he'll post something he did at 5 versus 5 days ago.
You know what? I don't have any on me, but my mom and my grandparents and my cousins, a lot of them still have them. And like they hold on to them. My mom sent me a picture of one not that long ago. Or a cousin sent me, oh, look what I found. It was like an old recreation of, I don't know if you remember Spider-Man. I think it was Spider-Man 2, the movie where he had the black suit and he was perched on the city and it was like raining. There was a particular poster shot that I really liked.
The 3.
Oh, 3. That's right. It wasn't 2. It was 3. Yeah. Like I remember being like 12, 10 years old and like being obsessed with that image. And I recreated it pretty well in pencil. My cousin, very big influence on me. He has it framed in his house. So he has that like locked away and like super, because he always knew, he always told me that I was going to become something of myself. Like this whole family we have a huge family, and like he's like, he was like, you're going to be like the only one to amount to anything, like jokingly wise, but he's like, I know you have potential. So I'm going to keep this. So that was pretty funny of him. But my mom had some drawings that we kept. My notebooks as well. I got in trouble a lot in school for drawing more than taking notes. So a lot of my notebooks are back at my parents' house, and a lot of it has like comic action figures and like people like stick figure wars and stuff, and like drawings of Spider-Man and Batman. Like I got in trouble a lot for not taking notes. And so that was pretty fun. And I recently went back and started looking at those notebooks. I was like, oh my God, like this is pretty disturbing, but awesome at the same time. The stuff I was trying. It's pretty funny.
What is, I guess, in your, I guess, steps of drawing Spider-Man, what is the one, where is the one spot in your career, I guess, that you decided, hey, I people are trying to pay me for this. Maybe I can do this for a living.
What was the moment?
Not necessarily comic, but just art. Like
the moment that I realized that I was like skilled enough to people that like were trying to give me money for my stuff, or like I guess because I attended Comic-Con C2E2. I'm from Chicago, like northwest suburbs of Chicago, so I was always going to C2E2 and since college just to go, and like I loved it, and I always had like an interest in it, and like I was talking to a lot of the artists in Artist Alley, like asking questions like, oh, so how did you get started? Kind of like the old basic stuff of everyone trying to like get some info from all the professionals. And I would always ask the question. And the thing that held me back the most was always like I was afraid of like copyright or Disney or these monsters coming after me. And I always asked them, I'm like, how does that work? And they're like, it's good as long as you don't do anything sexual or anything that they wouldn't want to see their characters with. For the most part, it's not too bad. And everyone seemed to have like the general consensus of the unspoken rule of that. So I was like, oh, okay. And almost everyone said the same thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I just started like painting my own stuff, and then I did my first show in 2016, very small. Table was like $25. Turned a really good profit, and that was the moment that I was like, okay, I think I might be able to do this. Like people liked my stuff enough where it was like a little con. It was called County Con in about an hour outside of where I am, so like 2 hours outside of Chicago. It was like a small show, and I had just prints. I still have a photo of it, of just prints on the table, a little vinyl backdrop, and it was just like my first show, and I did well, and I was just like, okay, like that kind of gave me the confidence to like then take the plunge and throw down like $1,000 for C2E2 and it did well. And so from there, it was just boom, 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 kept going on. And I started getting noticed, started getting people really liking my work, and Facebook groups started seeing like I was posting regularly. And like, I think that kind of moment of taking that vulnerability, because I think as an artist, everyone's scared to really get the judgment and really like, you're drawing, and the only people that really see it are your family for so long, and you don't really get the sense that they're being honest. Like, and like they're your parents or your brothers or your sisters. Like, yeah, it's good, it's good. You don't know until you get in a public venue and you literally are just standing there. It's like, look at my stuff. Is it? You're gonna get brutal honesty real fast, and I think everyone's afraid of that. And so it was that moment when I noticed that people were like, "Wow, this is actually pretty good." It gave me the confidence to like keep going, and keep selling my stuff and just keep pushing. I
think even with that brutal honesty, as long as you can sit there and you can take the criticism, and as long as it's constructive criticism, not someone just being an asshole,
right?
If you can take that and use it to build and move rather than just taking it and sulking in it,
right? Yeah,
that's sure. that sets a professional from someone that's just kind of trying to make a buck here and there.
Yeah, exactly, and that definitely separates, I would say, the boys from the men. And I think that's what like you have to understand. Like you definitely have to have self-worth, and you, like you said, it's pretty easy to tell when someone's being just an asshole and someone's being like actually constructive to the criticism. There's two totally different things, but like. Yeah, but I mean, I've come across people even now like that just say like, I don't know if they're just they realize what they're saying, but sometimes I say stuff and I think about it. I was like, that was pretty shit. Oh, my bad. Like, you don't even realize that it's a shitty comment, and I've gotten that even like cons recently. Like, it's just like, oh no, I've learned to brush it off. I'm like, cool, thanks, man. Like, hope you have a good day. And people have said some like I mentioned earlier, like I was a digital artist from 2010 till 2019, and a lot of people still bash digital art. And like they have this kind of weird stigma of like it's not real painting, it's not real, that it's just not the same. And I've had that's probably the comment that I got the most out of all the years of like, I remember specifically this one woman, I can't remember what show, but she was just flipping through and she was like, "Oh, this is digital art? Never mind." And she like walked away, and I was just like, "Holy shit, did she just say that?" Like and like it was just like this moment of wow, but it went right over my head. It didn't let it bother me, but I was just like, okay, like that's like there was just definitely the stigma of digital artists for a long time. And well,
I mean, what a lot of people don't understand is with the digital artists, a lot of them they'll shit on digital artists because it's digital, it's not traditional. Right. But the digital artist can do traditional art. It's just faster to do.
Exactly. Yep.
The digital art.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I started backwards. Most people would like most artists that I've noticed that will start traditional and then shift into digital because they're just like, oh my God, it's so much easier. I don't have to worry about materials. I don't have to worry about setting up. I don't have to worry about cleanup. It's like, let's go. I have the idea. I'm inspired. I can get it done, and it's done with. But for me, I went into animation. I got my degree in game art, and so that's when I went into college for. So I was learning 3D animation. I was learning all that stuff, and I fell in love with Photoshop digital painting. And then I went my own way after that. And I didn't touch traditional up until, like I said, 2019. But I was learning all the fundamentals of painting through that. And then I was watching videos of like Bob Ross or these people painting, and I'm like, I do that same thing, but in the computer. Like the fundamentals are there. They're the exact same thing. And it's just like I kind of clicked. I was like, let me try this. And the learning curve was really, really fast. Like I picked up almost all the techniques that I studied and practiced for so long in digital. It translated seamlessly into painting. So most people are surprised to hear that. And most of people don't realize that a lot of my digital paintings, like I can show you one, don't realize it is digital because I took such a traditional approach to a digital painting. So like this, that's digital.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was digitally painted, and no one even like batted an eye until I said something. But like the paintbrush strokes in his forehead, like everything about it, I made it a point to not use like Photoshop like photo textures. I mean, sometimes I do, but it's not often. But I didn't use like photo textures. I didn't like use the shortcuts. So what I'm saying. But, like, I learned all the fundamentals of real painting, and it transitioned easily, and I was able to go into real painting pretty easily. So
that word that you keep using, that fundamental word, that's something that I've heard Art Germ use time and time and time again. Yeah. And that there will, that separates an artist from just being pigeonholed into doing one style. If you have your fundamentals and you are able to understand the fundamentals, you can transition from one style to the next, to the next, to the next. You're not just a photorealist artist. You can move as long as you know your anatomy and the way to do things and the way light works and all that. You can transition from a photorealism to a, I guess even an anime style to anywhere else.
Yeah, you're molding yourself, and fundamentals are key. And I studied Feng Zhu. I don't know if you know who that is. Like he's also like a very high end concept artist, and he was a lot of my instructors were showing me him back in college, and he was a master at like concept design and like perspective. And he was always of the sound that one thing he always preached was like fundamentals are everything. And then like when he was saying like when you just draw what you see, you can only draw like a jar from this angle, but when you can understand how that jar sits in 3D space, and when you can understand how light works and refracts, bounce lighting, ambient lighting, and you understand materials and you understand how to paint materials, once all that kind of falls into place in your mind, you can draw anything. Like it becomes like this. You can almost take that same image. You can almost, and I tend to do it a lot, is I'll change the lighting in my head, and I'll change certain things. I'll use the same reference, but then all of a sudden it'll look completely different than how I envisioned it in my mind. That's kind of what we do as artists, and what I think Art Germ is referring to is like fundamentals. Like that's something like it's like anything, any sport, basketball. I mean, if you don't know the fundamentals of like dribbling and handling the ball well, you can shoot 3-pointers all day and you can do the cool dunks and stuff. But if you can't dribble and if you can't do the fundamentals of basketball, you're gonna get fucking slammed on, like you're gonna get schooled and at the actual competition. And I think that's kind of like the same thing when it comes to drawing and artists. And I think that's what a lot of artists skip, is because they see and unfortunately it's a downside to social media of the sense of always seeing people like I said, Art Germ or other high-end artists are like that. You see that and you're just like, man, I'm never going to be that good. And then they start taking shortcuts to get there quicker, and they don't put in the work, and they don't see the years and years and years of struggle of constantly trying to be just trying to like, again, improve your fundamentals. Like fundamentals is everything. And he's definitely right about that.
They see the dollar signs and they just go running for that rather than staying back in minor league where they should be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, they just see the opportunity for a quick buck, and even if it's not like being paid by publishers, like there are a lot of people out there that'll pay you like, I want a picture of a dog, like I can do that, and they just jump at it, and they just don't, they just dive in without really knowing what they're doing. They're just taking a picture and trying to recreate it, which is good and it has its place in the art realm, but it's when they start saying like I would like this and like that. I mean, it's just like any other industry. The concept artist, like I was obsessed with concept art. Like when I was in school, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, seeing these imaginary worlds that were like put into like 3D space and realistic and perspective and lighting. And like Feng Zhu would he always had like demos of how to quickly do like a 2 or 3 point perspective and have towers and like Lord of the Ring concept art. Like that was my jam, man. But I learned, and I kind of veered away because I wanted to do my own thing, because unfortunately the pipeline of that kind of industry just didn't fit me. Like the handing it off to the next guy to be done and handing it off and handing it off and handing it off. Me personally, like that just wasn't for me, but I still respect that industry so much. And I love it still dearly. And it's still a piece of me.
So let's kind of veer back into comics a little bit. And what is the first comic that you recall, or what is the first comic you had published? Anything with your art on? Or
Yes. I have that right here. Funny, I had it as a trivia question, because this particular book, that Bulletproof Kid, it was a very, very rare run of a company called what is it? Project Nerd Publishing. He was a friend of mine, and they were doing a Kickstarter for a variant. So this kid, it was basically just that bulletproof kid, and this was my very first published cover. It was limited to 50 made, only available through Kickstarter back in like 2016, I think it was. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is technically the very first published cover of mine. And if anyone can get their hands on it and hopefully hold on to it, and hopefully I keep doing what I'm doing and keep on my astrolabe, that was the one. That's technically the first thing ever published. But then I think everyone knows this one was the one I claimed what got me noticed was the Rejected. So this was the first like big one that got me, because that one really kind of went unnoticed. But then this Rejected series, wonderful, dark, vivid. I'm a big horror guy, and this particular series is just phenomenal. Tortured souls helping kids, like almost like a demon tempting, finding people that are vulnerable and like leading them down the path of basically the devil, and like teaching them, helping them do like basically evil things, and like but draping them in good. So it was such an interesting story, and I was so happy to be a part of it. But that particular book is what kind of like got me noticed, and then from there I started doing more and more of that kind of genre, and then I started doing other stuff. And I saw a couple I saw a couple questions that were asking about if I did more Spider-Man or something.
Pop those up, Greg.
No, unfortunately, I don't do Dried Up Spider-Man comics. I would love to. I would love to do covers. I'm more of a cover guy personally. I don't know. It's just I think my tone. Thanks, get Peter. Peter was there last night when I was painting some stuff. Live stream around 2 a.m. last night. So yeah, he was seeing some stuff. Thank you for the Sleeping Beauty remark. The enamel style so different and cool. Thank you, RJ. I know you're a big supporter. Yeah, Sleeping Beauties, that was another dream come true for me. Like I'm a huge Stephen King fan, and when they said that they were adopting this book, I had like everything handy because my office is thing. But that was the book that Stephen King that they were going to adapt into a 10 run series of a horror comic. Mm-hmm. And I was approached by I can't remember the publisher. I think it was Outer Limits Borough. I don't know if you know who that shop is. They're out of I think Louisville. But yeah, so then this was my cover that I did for them for Sleeping Beauty.
Okay, I've seen that cover. Actually, I saw that cover when I believe you had it during the last Comic-Con line that you were on.
Possibly, yeah. When
you were posted up with Steve McDonald.
Yeah, that's right. So I think that just come out at that time, and so I was super just like it was such a surreal moment because like getting an email back because they had to obviously send it off for approval. Like I had the original concept. I had like a random inspiration at 2 a.m. I got like 70% of it done in one shot, and I got done at 4 and I sent it off to them. I got a response really fast, and it was from Owen King, and he's like, I fucking love it. Continue it, finish it. And it was just like this like big rush of like, whoa, man, like that's super cool to have like the son of the father, because they co-wrote the book. And so like just to have them be like, and I don't know if he showed it to Stephen King or not, but even if he didn't, just giving the okay and saying that he liked it was more than enough for like the huge, just like, this is what it's all for, you know, like that super like kid moment of like enjoyment I get out of all that kind of stuff. So that is always fun.
One of the things, like as far as I know, one of the things you're most known for, at least how I know you, is you take on so many commissions. Is that... Yeah. You know, is that your primary source right now? Is you just do comics and commissions? Do you have a day job? Are you?
No, so I'm doing that full time. So for the longest time, from 2015 to 2000, basically when COVID started, I was working full time, 40 hours a week. But I was also I would come home, paint till 2 a.m., go to bed, wake up to go to the gym, go to work from 9 to 5, and do it all over again. And then I would use all of my vacation times for conventions. I was doing that for 5 years straight, just nonstop, spreading my name out there. But now it's with Steven's wonderful group of people, and there's a couple others. And now I finally was able to hire a management team with Brad and Kyle from Pop Culture Conventions. I think they're going to really help me kind of expose. But yeah, I do. I think I've done upwards of 4 to 400 to 600 blank covers in the last year and a half, somewhere in that window. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a blur. Like
so you've at least averaged one a day.
More than that. Yeah. Easily, way more than that. Yeah, I do. Like on a bad day, I'll do like 3, but like if I'm in the zone, I can do like 10 to 15, like pretty like quickly enough to where I'm happy with it and it comes out great, and I'm like, yeah, this is cool. And the thing with me, like I remember. I'm not like knocking other artists by any means, but like I remember like my manager at the time, manager now, but my good friend Brad, he was always like, get good at remarks, bro. Like you there's so few out there that can really like hammer it and knock it home. But if you can get good at remarks, like it is such a sought after skill, like to be really good at remarks. And I really took that to heart, and I listened to him. Every remark I do is like, I try to do a full painting of to really show off. I have like 30 of them here. Let me show you really. Oh, so here's one. So here's like a good example of a remark. So it's like he's like Mr. Teeth is coming out of the water. Yeah. So that's not part of everything in that white is not part of the book. So like that's my level of remark of that. It's like a figure coming out of the water. I have this. I have. Here's another one, like a guy being choked. It's like a silhouette of a face. Wow. So like, yeah, and these are just remarks. But when it comes to covers, like I showed you this one earlier, so it's got like the Pale Man, like that was fully painted. Like this is the kind of stuff that I've tried to like kind of really focus on. The horror comics is some of my favorite. Like I said, I'm a big horror fan. This one I showed you a little bit ago. Like the one
that one, dude. So I guess for the people watching, if they want to purchase any, which one of these are for sale? Which ones aren't? I
mean, this one is for sale. Actually, that one was just for fun. That one is for sale. A couple of these are already. Most of these are sold, but I do have a stack in the living room that are drying. Oh, this one you might find funny too. Have you ever seen a Scary Movie 2?
I have.
Okay, you're gonna like this.
The strong hand.
Yeah, strong hand. So yeah, that like I love, man, like comedy is something, and it's something that I've been doing pretty recently. Is just like I really want to make people laugh with some of my stuff, but like I've done that. I've done the Wednesday My Dudes. I drew that guy on a Spider-Man cover. I drew the meme of Spider-Man waiting at the desk. Have you ever seen that one? Or the meme of him like waiting? Yeah. It's got the time clock and it's got the picture of himself. I drew that as a cover of the Spider-Man cover, just him waiting. And it's still coming back from CGC, so I'm pretty excited to see that like graded. It's going to be great. And like I just have all these kinds of types of stacks and stacks and stacks of like remarks. Here's some other ones. Here's a big stack of stuff. Oof. So here's one. It was like The Ring.
Dude, that movie, I'm telling you right now, when I first saw that movie, I was in my 20s-ish, I think. About 19 or 20 when it came out. Yeah. And I swear to God, I've never wanted to throw something through my TV until that moment. Yeah. Like, I wanted to destroy my TV when I saw that chick crawl out of the TV. Nope, not today. Turning it off. Done.
Luckily, I was a little bit younger, and my parents kind of had the foresight. It was like, no, you're not watching it. Because I think I was... When did that movie come out? The first Ring, like 19?
I think like 2002, 3, something like that.
So I was like 11. I was 11 at the time, and I remember my parents were like, "No, you're not watching that because I know I don't want to deal with you being." But yeah, look, the back of it is even cooler. Look at that. So it's like, wow. So these were just like, yeah, they were painted. Good times. So then,
I was 18 when it came out.
Yeah. I have a Lecter one. So like these actually are for sale. So no one's actually purchased these before. The Psycho one.
Nice.
These are varnished. So, and that's one thing that I've been really, because I didn't put 2 and 2 together until varnishing. I was like, wait a minute, I'm painting these. Like I can varnish them. And so like that was like a whole like clicking thing. It makes the contrast pop so much on these guys. Yeah. Like, because like you can't do it with. So I had a guy like message me, and like Cult 45 Lando works every time. So it's like I like it. I totally like making people laugh. Like all of these are just random ones that I've done for me. These aren't even including like I said, the 600 that I've done of It's like that one is varnished, but this one's got like gold on his like lapel thing. And say Zordon is another good one. Good old Power Rangers. Say Chucky. Like this is just a small stack that I do, and then these kind of another from Insidious.
Yeah.
She's holding like the candle and like there. So yeah, I still got to varnish this guy, but like I said, that's just like a small stack. Like I've asked, I've gone, like I said, anywhere from 400 to 600 blanks in the last, and that's not including remarks, but 400 to 600 blanks cover paintings in the last year and a half, I'd say. But I like to stay busy, and I think it's like it's not only that, it's like at the beginning they took me a lot longer, but there was something that clicked, like I was saying earlier, with like once your mind kind of gets it, it's almost like decoding the matrix. When you see all the coding and someone can read it and just be like, oh, this person's walking down the street and doing this. That's almost like what like Arjun was referring to, and like all these artists, like high level artists that like can see something and like decode it in their head and they can draw it. It's like it's kind of like the same thing. Like it's hard to explain.
It's kind of the argument of references. You know, whether you're looking at a picture for a reference or you're remembering something that you've seen, it's all references. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
So you know,
I use
the people that say that they, you know, don't like people that can't draw without references. Well, you can't either, because you're referencing a thought in your head, an image that you've seen.
Yep. And to that thing, there's only one artist that I know of that like does it to that is God. I do not understand how he does it, and I can never pronounce his name. Kim Jung-gi, I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you're if you know who he is. He's a Korean artist. Mm-hmm. His line work, man, it looks like it looks like an Etch-a-Sketch.
Jeez, man. Someone calling me on Facebook.
No worries. It's like an Etch-a-Sketch like line that's just like perfectly outlining. I do not understand. I mean,
it's Kim Jung-gi.
Kim Jung-gi, right? That's his name.
Yeah, I believe that's his name.
Yeah, I can never pronounce it, but like I was starstruck when I saw him at Ace Comic-Con in 2000. I was in Seattle and I was there doing a show, and he was like a booth, like 2 booths away from me, and he was just sitting there drawing. I was too scared to say hello because he doesn't speak English either. I was afraid of like fangirling because like that dude is so good. So
fun. Take ink and he'll put pen to paper like on this big thing, and he'll just draw and he'll just go. Yeah, it's insane. He never picked the pen up, not one time.
No, it blows my mind, and I'm sitting there like, and his interviews is like, yeah, I mean, I've been drawing every day for like 40 years. I'm like, fuck, dude, like I get it. I get how you get that good, but just to see the result of that dedication of that amount of time and seeing it like happen before your eyes is magical. So that dude is so good, and he's like the only one that I really know of that can, without any reference, who can just go, and it looks amazing. But I mean, I use reference. I have folders and folders and folders on Pinterest, and I have folders on my computers. Anything that I find that I could be like, oh, that could be used for a drawing one day. Like I just save them all, and then I start pulling them all together when I think of something for a new cover. I'll have like 10 different images, and I'll be like referencing the pieces of that one, and I'll try to put it together and create like a pie or something. But yeah.
Well, I think we are about out of time here. I think we were supposed to stop at 6:30. I think we've gone a little bit over, but that's all right.
My bad.
That was a fun. That was a educational for sure. You know, but like for me especially, you know, we had you on Comic-Con Line back in October, but we didn't really have the opportunity to discuss a lot of this stuff. It was mostly just buy this.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so, I enjoyed the conversation, and you know, I'd like to have you on again at some point in the future so we can discuss a little bit more and go in a little more in depth and find out where you're going to end up in this comic industry.
Yeah, no, I'm pushing, man, and wherever I end up, I'm happy, man, because I'm enjoying the journey, and I wouldn't have it any other way. So I'm just so happy to be making stuff that makes people happy, and then now that I'm discovering I can make people laugh with my artwork, and that's something that I'm super happy about, and seeing people's joy when they see those joke covers, like it hits me right here. So it's something that I want.
I'm going to tell you that Gal Rucchio is a if she latches onto you as a fan, she is a huge supporter. She's a very big supporter of Art Germ, Derek Chu, all of them, just nonstop. Awesome. She made one purchase a year ago. We actually had the anniversary of her purchase today. She made a post about it. She's been a great customer fan ever since. So
Great. Well, Gal,
good
it's nice to
supporter to
meet
have, buddy.
you. RJ, thank you. Peter, you were awesome. You were on there with me till 2 a.m. last night painting. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, Creative Corner, for having me on. This was wonderful. I'll be on anytime. I'm happy to be on. Like I said, I'm literally glued to my desk working like all the time. So I'm here.
All right, bud.
All right, man. Have a good night.
We'll be seeing you soon.
Yes, buddy. Have a good one, guys. Thank you again.
Yeah, you too.